Welcome to the Eric Thompson Show. Passionate conservative fighting to preserve our constitutional rights.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
A Marine Corps veteran and family man whose life's creed is faith, family, and country. Join Eric today as he covers current events from a conservative worldview. Now, here's your host, Eric Thompson.
Hi, welcome to another Eric Thompson Show podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. It is Thursday, April 21st, 2022. Busy day today. Writing political articles. There's a lot going on in the news, so we're going to cover as much as we can in about 30 minutes or so. Thank you for listening in. If you want to get more information on me, you can head over to my website, ericthompsonshow.com, E-R-I-C, thompsonshow.com, or just try typing in ettalkshow.com. That should forward over there. Also, you can also email me at eric@ettalkshow.com. Last night, I did a podcast on one of the main things that has to be fixed to save our country. And we went over immigration. And I gave you kind of my breakdown of what I think what would have to happen by 2025, assuming the GOP takes back to Congress in November and gets sworn in January, and then if it's President Trump or DeSantis, whoever in 24 gets sworn in January of 25. Education is what we're going to talk about tonight. Now, there's a lot of other news. We got Title 42 that's supposed to end in May, and so the White House knows that our country is going to get walloped with these hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that were turned away because of Title 42, which the CDC put in that said you can't come in the United States, even on asylum, because of COVID. Well, now the COVID's going down. Now it's reversed. Now we want to keep Title 42 in because we still don't want illegals coming in. But then the White House, while they're complaining about the mask mandates getting lifted on the airplanes, is also saying, well, Title 42 is not necessary because of COVID going down. Cases are up, but you know what I mean? So it's all a lie. This is all an illusion. Who do you see is back out now? Remember, if you've listened to my podcast, I am convinced 99% that Barack Obama is actually running the administration, not Joe Biden. Barack Obama did an interview with Colbert right before Biden was sworn in. And Colbert asked him, "Did you ever think about a third term?" And he said, "Well, I've joked, I've talked to people about it, but if I could find somebody that I could stick earpieces in, and I could have a microphone, from behind, from out of the way, and I could tell them what to do, then that would be attractive. That would be good for me because I don't like the day-to-day, but I could do that. If I could find someone that actually would be a puppet that I could direct, yeah, that would be that I could do a third term that way." In March of 21, the White House admitted that Barack Obama was speaking with Joe Biden on a regular basis, consulting with him. And now we're finding out that the Secret Service has not been keeping a log of who Joe Biden who's been visiting the President of the United States when he spent 25% of his time in office in his house in Delaware. Oh, you forced a records request. Yeah, well, you got us. We don't know who's been coming in to see Joe and stuff. So Obama's running around now. The First Amendment doesn't apply to Facebook and Twitter. Big tech, you don't have to give free speech to everybody. You should actually kind of really look at the value judgments and the way that you're censoring things, and we just you got to make sure that anything that's clearly dangerous content that does if it goes too far, you can't let that. Obama said, yeah, well, I'm pretty close to a First Amendment absolutist, but the First Amendment is a check on the state of the power. It doesn't apply to private companies like Facebook and Twitter. There needs to be more value judgments on content moderation and censorship on all social media. You're going to see, I think, more and more of Obama because Biden's lost and he's unpopular. So they thought they could have an Uncle Joe that they could run policies through and then he could take the heat, but they didn't think he would be in the 30s. He's very unpopular. So here comes Barack Hussein Obama, which, by the way, Spotify is not renewing him and his wife's podcast because it's terrible. Because I don't care what people tell me. Barack Obama doesn't have charisma. I don't know where that comes from. He's so charismatic. Is he? I don't know. He's a skinny little man to me. The guy they caught him on videotape lifting 5-pound barbells, or 10, whatever they were, dinky little things. So I don't think so. Okay, before we get to the education fix, Disney, man, Disney's fall, Netflix's collapse. These events bring me great joy. Disney stock is sliding because now Florida, which I'm a writer for trendingpolitics.com and over on my website, but I've been writing about this, that the left did not think that Governor Ron DeSantis would actually take down the protections and the extra privileges that the state had extended Disneyland. They didn't think that he would actually go after Disneyland. What they don't understand about people that have convictions and people that are willing to step out and pursue those convictions is that you don't want to mess with them. When the teachers' unions and the quote-unquote they're actually called anti-racist. We call them woke, but woke is actually, it really means anti-racist because they think that's what everybody should be. White people shouldn't admit there's racism. They should be anti-racist. Militant against people who won't admit it. Well, Disney jumped in on the argument that DeSantis said, hey, schools, you can't teach all this hypersexuality and all this LGBT stuff to kindergartners to third grade. So we're not going to have you do that. Just through third grade. Let the kids learn how to write and count, okay? Oh, you're anti-LGBT, anti-trans, and DeSantis like, no, the bill we're going to do to pass to make sure you don't do it doesn't say anything. There's no gay word or anything. It just says that parents should know that their children are not going to get taught social justice issues, especially sexuality, in kindergarten through third grade. So Disney jumped in. Oh, we are inclusive at Disneyland, Disney World and Disneyland and Disney Corporation, and we are all for teachers, homosexual, lesbian teachers, to be able to teach kindergartners who think that they are also in the wrong body. We think that teachers should be able to groom the children. So DeSantis is like, you probably want to stay out of this. They didn't want to. Disney's, I think it's a great granddaughter, the heiress to the Disney fortune, is a far left, just hyper. I know one of the great, either her kid or someone, one of them's a transgender teacher. The family's a mess, I guess is what I'm trying to say. They're not about liberty. They don't care about freedoms. They want to enforce their will and their views on young people. Because of that, I canceled my Disney Plus membership. I'll never, ever step into a Disney park, and I'll never buy a Mickey, a Donald, or a Goofy ever again. And I'm one of a lot of people. I canceled my Netflix membership. Why would I support companies that are hurting people? But you're not supposed to say that. Oh, you guys are so judgmental. You're transphobic, blah, blah. I'm actually not afraid. The phobia thing's a trip anyway, because I'm not afraid of LGBTQ, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, whatever they are now. I don't fear them. I actually feel bad for them. They're walking around with gender dysphoria and mental issues, and their bubbles telling them they're normal. They're getting supported in a sickness. That's a problem. But yeah, the shares of Walt Disney are continuing their downslide after Florida voted today, or yesterday and today, that they're going to strip away a lot of these benefits that they're called the Reedy Creek Improvement District. They're basically stripping a bunch of tax benefits and policing and basically Disney was operating like its own little world inside of Florida. Well, now Disney, the House passed it, the Senate passed it, the House passed it. DeSantis is going to sign it tomorrow. And the special district is going to be gone because Disney wanted to fight Florida's parental rights and education law, which forbids the teaching of sexual orientation and gender ideology to children in kindergarten through third grade. So the Disney CEO, well, he's not backing off. Well, we're going to keep working to repeal the parental right laws in other states like Florida. We're really into it. Do you know why? There's something called the Great Reset, and in the Great Reset, which is deconstructing Western nations by 2030 to be part of this big global kumbaya where you don't own anything and you're happy about it because the government knows all. Part of restructuring the financial system in the United States is to apply an ESG score to corporations. And then they need to comply if there's going to be funding and finances going through BlackRock Financial and all these banks. ESG. Disney has to have a good environmental score. Their policies and the things they're doing at Disney need to be good for the environment. And they need to support Green New Deal causes. If you do that, you get a good E score. Governance, if you've got the right people, the right equity, the right number of people in running your company, and dealing with the local governments, and you're just doing everything at the management level and different levels to be equitable, so you have the same number of people of different colors and genders, and you're working with the government on regulations to be a good steward, you can go to get G score. Social justice. If you're not helping advance critical race theory, 1619 Project, the idea of intersectionality, white privilege, white fragility, the need for equity in all levels, if you're not pushing those, and you're not helping the people that are not represented equally, like people that have dysphoria and they're transgender, but most of them aren't. They're still in their bodies. Their brain just thinks that they want to be a different gender, even though they have the chromosomes. But Disney and these corporations have to coddle and support them, just like in Georgia when they were doing the election reform bills were getting passed. Major League Baseball actually pulled the All-Star game out of Atlanta because they wanted to have a good social justice rating with the power brokers of the world. the World Economic Forum, United Nations Agenda 2030, Charles Schwab, the World Economic Forum with Fauci is in it. Prince Charles is in it. A lot of the powerful John Kerry's in it. And they're out of Switzerland. But Disney's dropping. Netflix is collapsing. And at some point, Disney's going to have to either, for the sake, because now they're going to take on hundreds of millions of dollars and more fees and taxes for running their parks. They're going to have to either go neutral again, because that's what they should have done, or I don't know what happens to them. Do they restructure CNN? They tried a CNN Plus paid model, and after less than a year, they're closing it because nobody wants to pay to watch the fake news network. So that is some of the news today that's out there. Fauci's running around. Can't believe that judge said that people on airplanes shouldn't wear masks, and I know better. I'm kind of a smart legal guy too, and he said he had to correct Trump on information. So it's the same old today, but just thought I would get you up to speed with that. A couple of my sponsors real quick, and then I'm going to go over what we need to do to fix education in the United States. A year and a half ago, my wife and I had a cell phone bill that kept going up and up, down, up, charges. I was with T-Mobile after being with AT&T, and I had started with Sprint. And I got tired of it because if my kids who were on my plan, if they went over on their data, then I had to pay for that, and my cell phone bill would skyrocket. So I heard about Pure Talk USA out of the Atlanta, Georgia area. Here's how it works. You go to getpuretalk.com, getpure, P-U-R-E, talk.com. Choose the same packages you have right now because you get to keep your phones and keep your phone numbers. You switch over to Pure Talk USA. They mail you your SIM cards. You switch them out in your phones. Bam, your phone bill goes down about 50%. And guess what? You're still on the same 5G network, on the same towers as one of the big carriers, but for about half the cost. Average family saving over $800 a year. So with inflation going nuts, gasoline prices high, this is an easy way to save a lot of money by simply going to getpuretalk.com using the promo code FLS at checkout. 3 letters, for liberty's sake. 3 letters, FLS at checkout. Getpuretalk.com, promo code FLS to get set up, to get your SIM cards coming, to get switched over, to get 50% off your first month. Your first bill is going to be really small. That'll help right now. CEO is a U.S. veteran. They're located in the Atlanta, Georgia area, so you get better customer service. You don't pay for overages, and you're still on the same network, same number of bars, same Wi-Fi, same phone number. You're just saving money, and you're not supporting companies that hate America, and that's in my humble opinion. Again, getpuretalk.com, promo code is FLS. All right. Education. The Department of Education, here's a trivia question. When did it start? The idea, the shell original Department of Education actually was created in 1867, but more, hey, collect information on schools and maybe it will come up some ideas to create an effective school system. Which, by the way, if you go back in history, we were actually sending over some of our men and women, men with doctorates, I think, men primarily, over to what was called Prussia, to the German area, and they were teaching what a K through 8 school system would look like if it was done in the United States. And what they had done over there is because of Napoleon and the history of their troops running anytime a battle started, they created this educational system to impart a reverence and a loyalty to the state to the point that they wouldn't run in future battles So as we set up our K through 12, our K through 8 in the United States, we ended up with an elementary system similar to what they're using over in the former Prussia to raise up subordinate young people in the name of the state. Does that make you feel special? But it was Jimmy Carter in 1979, in his last year of his miserable presidency, that he actually created. Here he signed off on the United States Department of Education. It was voted in, and it actually went. It was called October 1979. Congress passed the Department of Education Organization Act. Created a bunch of agencies and made it one big monstrous department cabinet position. So what's happened since 1979 forward? What's happened to education? Has education been getting better the last 30 years or worse? Last 40 years? 50 years? I mean, 1980, that was 42 years ago. Department of Education is this. It's been infiltrated by social justice warriors, Marxist, unions. So think of it this way. It starts in, I think it was October 79, but I think the Congress actually went into 1980 is something, early 80s when it actually was set up. But think of it as, okay, so you got a base there. Yeah, so started operations in May of 80. Then they start putting layers on. Okay, we're going to have this department inside our department's going to pick the school books. And then this is going to do this, and this is going to advance this, and this, and all of a sudden, all of these pet projects start getting in, and then social justice, and then the kids' grades start slipping, and then they try to come up with all these No Child Left Behind and all these programs. But the problem is the unions were getting stronger, and the teachers were being protected, and crime was increasing, and pregnancy and abortion, and it just kept layering to the point where we are right now. Where some schools, I think it was like Baltimore and other urban areas, were like 5% of the kids were like proficient at reading at their grade level or something. It was pretty crazy last time I saw the studies. So, how do we fix it? We need to deconstruct what was constructed. Before 1979, education was local. Because think about it. Andrew Johnson in 1867, he signed the legislation which created it, but the purpose was to collect information, stats about schools. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to the purpose of it. Oh, we're just going to be here and just keep data in case states ask, we'll know what they need help with. So, if the Republicans take back the Congress, they need to defund the Department of Education. Guess what? No money for it. It's not necessary anymore. All education's going back local. Now, they're not going to have the power because Joe Biden's the president, but they can start to set the stage, just like I spoke yesterday about the steps to do for immigration. They can start to prepare for whoever the Republican is in 24, going into 25, and they walk in and say, okay, Mr. President, Mr. Trump, welcome back. We're defunding, we're going to get rid of your cabinet positions. One of them is going to be the Department of Education. We're not going to fund it. Would like to see if you could close it. We'll get rid of it. Send everything back to the states. Get rid of the bureaucracy. Get rid of the influence in the unions. Get rid of all of this. Because right now, the Department of Education is like a funnel where all of these progressives can go pour their poison into it, and then it funnels out to the entire world. So you have one entry point to, it's like a main portal that pushes the Marxism and all of this sexuality, pro-abortion issues, everything through. So if you take it away, you take out the brain in D.C., the main hub, and everything goes back local, then like we're moving to Oklahoma, the people, the Department of Education in Oklahoma, that guy's blasting the liberal ideas in the state because they can control it locally. So first thing for education, realize they are Marxist portals. On this libs TikTok, was it TikTok libs or libs of TikTok? There are countless teachers that have no problem doing videos about how they are messing with their children. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm teaching the children, kindergartners, this, and this is how I'm positioning this, and I'm bringing it up, and I'm telling them that that I am transgender. So do you know what that is? And do you want me to tell you about it? Do you ever feel like? And they go through this glee where they are non-binary and how their children are trying to figure out what to call the teacher, and they think it's funny, and then one kid gets it. Oh, they're a he, they. Whatever, and the other kid's like, what are you talking about? That's a girl. No, don't you dare call her girl. And then the children are fighting over it, and the teachers they go on these videos and they laugh about it, that they think they're accomplishing something. If you send education back local, then the parents can say, you know what, teachers, you, just like in Florida, leave the kids alone. There's no federal government, Department of Education to back you up. Because what the Department of Education does is they give a lot of money to the schools, and then they'll just pull the money. If you don't comply, they'll just withhold the funding. So they have power over you. If you close it and all the money goes back to the states, there's no one to pull the strings. It's local. Have to close the Department of Education. Have to tell the colleges, if you're teaching that white children are bad, students, if you're teaching critical race theory, if you're teaching intersectionality or the 16-9, if you're teaching things that are racist and are going to cause tyranny, we're not going to give loans. I don't think the federal government should be in the loan business, but Barack Obama moved it in. But the way it is right now, if Trump was to come in, it'd be nice if he could tell, hey, guess what? We're going to close the Department of Education, and we're not going to offer loans in your college because you are teaching racism and Marxism and anti-American hatred. So close the Department of Education, identify schools that are actually destroying the minds of the college kids, and don't offer them loans. Choke out the college until they have tenured, our professors are tenured. No, they're radical racists. It doesn't matter. They should not have access to young minds. So everything goes back to the schools, and then you have school choice. People are paying taxes. Okay, you have a choice. You can go to the Christian school down here, you go to the Jewish school, you can go to a charter school, you can go to the regular public school. But you choose. If we do that and we get things local and we get people fearing God and we get people back to living where they love America, they're not going to want to screw up the country that they love. Right now, the kids are told to hate the country, so it doesn't matter if they screw it up by burning it down and rebuilding it up again. And that is the plan of the Obamas, the Great Reset, and everyone on the left. That's the plan. Keep people angry, keep people nervous, keep people thinking they're living in a terrible country. Pour the country, talking about if this Title 42 gets lifted, even though it's going to flood the country, then we're talking up to 6.5 million illegal aliens, migrants every year that can be processed, plus the illegals and the migrants that are not caught. If you're at 7-8 million people for 4 years, okay, that's like the state of California in additional aliens. So the plans yesterday, I told you how to fix what I think we need to do for immigration, and now that's what we have to do for education. Anything short of closing the Department of Education, not extending loans to schools that are teaching hatred, and offering school choice as we are ending immigration, closing the borders, withdrawing all funding from anyone in the country that's not a citizen. If we don't do this fully, it won't work. So that's the plans. Close the Department of Education. Don't fund schools that are teaching hatred and racism, critical race theory, and all these lies. And give the parents back school choice, including if you want to homeschool, you can homeschool, and then the state, you will still get vouchers to pay for the school books for your children. It's back to the states. That is how our country was established, and that is how the globalists cannot get to us. If we're back at the states with our Second Amendment in place, our churches full, and people taking care of each other, then we're not going to allow the federal government to allow people from China, Russia, and other parts of the world to buy up our land. We're not going to. No, in our state, nobody can buy land unless you're a citizen. Well, you can't do that. I mean, that's anti-global. Yes, that's right. So that is the plan. That's how we fix education. Any moderation of that, half fixing it, stuff like that, and then it's not going to work. All right, another sponsor, MyPillow. MyPillow, make sure you check them out. They got huge sales right now. Check out the pillows, sheets, Giza sheets right now. Man, I love them all. Go to mypillow.vip. MyPillow.vip. Promo code is FLS. Just like over at getpuretalk.com. Promo code FLS. MyPillow.vip. Promo code FLS. Huge savings, up to 66% or more. But get the Giza sheets, the towels. You can't go wrong. The mattress topper. Check them out. You'll see all their sales when you get there. MyPillow.vip. Promo code is FLS. Thank you guys for listening. And next time, well, who knows what we're going to talk about. We're fixing education. We're fixing immigration. And now we'll look into the woke culture. All right, take care.
We all love smartphones. Isn't it time for a smart plan? Pure Talk USA offers Simply Smarter Wireless that covers 99% of Americans. Stop overpaying for wireless. Unlimited plans start as low as $20 per month and include the same great coverage. You never pay for any data overage fees, and Pure Talk USA never turns off your data. No contracts, no hidden fees, no surprises. If you're thinking our absurdly low cost means less coverage, think again. Pure Talk USA operates on the largest GSM network in the U.S. to ensure you're connected virtually anytime, anywhere. And our 4G LTE network provides the fastest internet speeds like more expensive carriers. You can keep your same phone and your same phone number. Add multiple lines to save 20% off your total bill. Go to puretalkusa.com and do something smart today. Unlimited talk and text plans start at $20 per month. No contracts, no activation fees, no reasons not to try. Come to puretalkusa.com and see how much you can save. Enter this promo code to receive 50% off your first month.
FLS, promo code FLS. Go to getpuretalk.com. Promo code is FLS.
Uncertainty makes us worry what the future has in store. Owning gold and silver is an excellent way to protect your retirement savings and your family's financial future from market volatility. Many savvy investors diversify, protect, and grow their retirement savings with a self-directed precious metals IRA. At Goldco, we can assist you with your purchase and begin a simple 3-step process. First, we'll open your new IRA account with a quick application. Second, you'll choose how you'd like to fund it. And third, select the metals that best fit your investment goals. We'll then ensure your precious metals are stored securely. When the time comes to access your life savings, It's comforting to know physical gold and silver will be there. With a Goldco self-directed IRA, you'll have the peace of mind that your investment is safe.
You want to go to getgoldco.com to get your free 2022 Wealth Protection Kits. Getgoldco.com. Getgoldco.com. Fill out the free 2022 Wealth Protection Kit and get educated and figure out if this is the best option for you. Getgoldco.com.